The Shawshank Redemption is a story about a man named Andy Dufresne and his long life inside a prison. The story begins in the year 1947. Andy Dufresne is a quiet and educated man. He works as a banker in Portland in the state of Maine. He lives a decent life and earns good money. One night, his life changes forever. His wife is having an affair with another man. Andy follows them with a gun. He feels angry and hurt. Later that same night, both his wife and her lover are found dead. They are shot many times. Andy says he did not kill them. He says he went there with the gun, but did not use it. The court does not believe him. There is strong evidence against him. Andy is found guilty and is sent to Shawshank State Prison. He receives 2 life sentences. This means he may never come out of prison. Andy arrives at Shawshank Prison in a prison bus along with other new prisoners. The prison looks old, cold, and frightening. High stone walls surround it. Guards carry guns and shout loudly. The new prisoners are taken inside and searched. They are given prison clothes and their heads are shaved. Some prisoners cry out of fear. Others stay silent. Andy stays very calm and quiet. The guards laugh at the new prisoners. On the first night, some prisoners break down and cry. One young man cries loudly and the guards beat him badly. Andy watches all this without speaking. Inside the prison, there is a man known as Red. His full name is Ellis Boyd Redding, but everyone calls him Red. Red has been in prison for many years. He knows how the prison works. He can get things for other prisoners if they have money. He can get cigarettes, posters, books, and small tools. Red notices Andy because Andy does not act like other new prisoners. He looks calm and polite. Red bets with other prisoners that Andy will cry on his first night. Andy does not cry. Red loses the bet but becomes interested in Andy. After some days, Andy and Red start talking. Andy asks Red if he can get him a small rock hammer. Red asks why. Andy says he likes to collect rocks and shape them. Red agrees and later brings Andy a small rock hammer. Andy also asks for a poster of a famous movie star. Red brings him a poster of Rita Hayworth. Andy hangs the poster on the wall of his cell. Andy is assigned to work in the prison laundry. The work is hard and boring. While working there, Andy is often attacked by a group of prisoners known as the Sisters. They are violent men who hurt other prisoners. Their leader is named Boggs Diamond. They beat Andy and force themselves on him. Andy suffers a lot, but he does not tell anyone. He keeps everything inside and survives quietly. 2 years pass. One day, Andy is working on the prison roof with other prisoners. The guard captain named Byron Hadley is there. Hadley is angry because he has received money from a dead family member, but will lose much of it to taxes. Andy hears this and takes a big risk. He speaks to Hadley and offers to help him keep the money legally. Hadley becomes very angry and almost throws Andy off the roof. Andy stays calm and explains his plan. He says he can help Hadley put the money in a way that the government cannot take it. Hadley listens and understands. In the end, Hadley does not hurt Andy. Instead, he allows Andy and the other prisoners to enjoy cold beer on the roof. This is a rare moment of happiness for them. After this event, Andy gains protection from the guards. The Sisters attack Andy one last time and beat him nearly to death. Hadley becomes furious and beats Boggs so badly that Boggs can never walk properly again. Boggs is taken away to another place and Andy is never attacked again. The prison warden is a man named Samuel Norton. He is very strict and talks about God and rules all the time. He notices Andy's intelligence. He moves Andy to work in the prison library with an old prisoner named Brooks Hatlin. Brooks has lived in prison for most of his life. Andy helps Brooks take care of the library. In truth, the warden wants Andy to help him and the guards with their money and taxes. Andy starts doing financial work for many guards. He helps them save money and avoid problems with the law. Andy also starts writing letters to the state government. Every week he writes a letter asking for money to improve the prison library. He does this again and again for many years. At first, no one answers. Andy does not stop. In the year 1954, Brooks is released from prison. He has served 50 years. He is very old and scared. Outside prison, the world has changed. Cars move fast and people act differently. Brooks feels lost and alone. He cannot sleep. He misses the prison. One day, Brooks writes a letter saying the world has gone too fast for him. He then ends his own life. Andy and Red are very sad when they hear this. Years later, the state finally answers Andy's letters. They send money and many books for the library. They also send records. Andy plays one music record over the prison speakers. The music fills the prison yard. For a few minutes, everyone feels free and peaceful. The guards are angry. Andy is punished and sent to solitary confinement for 2 weeks. He stays alone in a small dark cell. When he comes back, Red asks how he survived. Andy says the music stayed with him in his head and gave him hope. Time passes and the prison changes. The warden starts using prisoners for outside work. He takes jobs from the town and uses prison labor to earn money. He cheats honest workers and becomes rich. Andy creates a false name called Randall Stevens. Under this name, he moves the money and keeps records. The warden trusts Andy, but also fears him. In the year 1965, a young prisoner named Tommy Williams arrives. Tommy is talkative and friendly. Andy helps Tommy learn and study. Andy helps him pass his education exam. One day, Tommy tells Andy a shocking story. He says that while he was in another prison, a man there confessed to killing Andy's wife and her lover. Andy realizes this could prove his innocence. He tells the warden. The warden refuses to listen. He does not want Andy released because he needs him for the money work. The warden sends Andy to solitary confinement for 2 months. While Andy is locked away, the warden orders Hadley to kill Tommy and make it look like an escape attempt. Andy comes back broken and tired. The warden threatens him and forces him to continue working. Andy tells Red about his dream. He dreams of living in a place near the ocean in Mexico called Zihuatanejo. He talks about hope and freedom. He asks Red to promise that when Red is released, he will go to a field near Buxton and find something buried there. Red feels worried. Andy asks another prisoner for a rope, which makes Red fear Andy may hurt himself. One morning, Andy does not appear for roll call. The guards search his cell. The warden throws a stone at the poster on Andy's wall. The poster falls and reveals a long tunnel. Andy has been digging the tunnel for 19 years using the small rock hammer. The poster hid the hole all this time. The night before, Andy crawled through the tunnel. He escaped through a dirty sewer pipe and came out into the rain. He had taken the warden's clothes and the book with all the illegal records. Andy goes to banks using the false name Randall Stevens and takes all the money. He sends the evidence to a newspaper. The police arrive at Shawshank. Hadley is arrested. The warden locks himself in his office and ends his own life. 1 year later, Red is finally released. Life outside is hard for him. He feels lonely and afraid like Brooks once did. He remembers Andy's words and promise. He goes to the field near Buxton and finds a box with money and a letter. Andy asks Red to come to Mexico. Red breaks his parole and travels to Mexico. He finds Andy on a beach. Andy is free and smiling. The two friends meet again and embrace. Red finally feels hope and freedom. The two friends stand on the beach for a long time. The sun is bright and the sea is calm. Andy looks healthy and peaceful. Red feels something he has not felt for many years. He feels free inside his heart. Andy smiles and looks at Red with kindness. Red walks slowly toward him. They do not speak at first. Words are not needed. Their long suffering is over. They have both survived something very hard. They sit together near the sea. The sound of waves fills the air. Andy tells Red that every night he used to dream of this moment. He says that hope kept him alive in prison. Red listens quietly and feels ashamed that he once laughed at hope. Now he understands. Andy tells Red about his life after escape. He says that after leaving the sewer, he walked many miles in the rain. He was dirty and tired but happy. Every step away from the prison felt like a miracle. He stayed hidden for some days and then went to the banks. Using the false name, he took out the money little by little so no one would become suspicious. He felt fear every time, but also felt strong. He then traveled south slowly, always careful, until he crossed the border into Mexico. No one stopped him. When he saw the ocean for the first time, he cried. It was the first time he cried in many years. Andy bought a small boat repair shop near the sea. He chose this work because it was simple and honest. He learned how to fix engines and paint boats. The people in the town welcomed him. They did not know his past, and he did not tell them. He lived quietly, waking up early, working during the day, and sleeping peacefully at night. For the first time since his youth, he slept without fear. But even in this peaceful life, he always thought of Red. He He waited and hoped that Red would come. Red tells Andy about his life after prison. He says that the world outside scared him. Cars, buildings, and people all moved too fast. He felt small and useless. He worked at a store, packing things and cleaning floors. Every night he felt lonely. Sometimes he thought about breaking the law so he could go back to prison because prison felt familiar. But then he remembered Andy's words about hope. He remembered the letter and the money buried in the field. That memory gave him courage to keep going. Finally, he decided to take the risk and travel to Mexico. While traveling, he felt fear, but he also felt alive. Andy listens carefully and nods. He tells Red that prison can lock the body, but cannot lock the mind unless a person allows it. He says that books, music, and hope helped him survive. He says that every time the guards tried to break him, he imagined the ocean and the warm sun. He imagined freedom so clearly that it felt real. Red understands now why Andy never became angry or violent. Andy chose patience and quiet strength. The two men walk along the beach together. Andy shows Red the small house he built. It is simple but clean. There are plants outside and tools neatly arranged. Red smiles when he sees it. Andy says that this place is not just for him. It is for both of them. Red feels tears in his eyes. He never thought someone would wait for him like this. They begin a new life together. Every morning they wake up early and drink coffee while watching the sea. They work together fixing boats. Red learns slowly, but Andy is patient. At night, they sit outside and talk about small things. They talk about books, about memories, and sometimes about the prison. But the prison no longer controls them. It is just a story from the past. Red often thinks about the men still inside Shawshank and other prisons. He thinks about how many lives are wasted behind walls. Andy tells him that even one free soul matters. He says that kindness and hope are never wasted. Red starts to believe this deeply. As time passes, Red changes. His back straightens. His face looks calmer. He laughs more often. He starts to feel like a normal man again. Andy also feels complete now that his friend is with him. He no longer feels like he escaped alone. They escaped together, even though it took many years. Sometimes Red asks Andy how he had the courage to dig the tunnel for so many years without giving up. Andy says it was not courage every day. Some days it was just habit. Some days it was anger. Some days it was hope. He says that small actions done every day can change a life. Red nods and remembers how Andy chipped away at the wall slowly, hiding the dirt in the yard. It seemed impossible, yet Andy succeeded. The story of Andy Dufresne becomes a quiet legend. People in Shawshank talk about the man who disappeared through the wall. New prisoners hear the story and feel hope. Some guards feel shame. The prison continues to stand, but its power is broken. Truth came out. Justice, even though late, arrived. Red and Andy never return to the past. They do not seek fame or praise. They live simply and honestly. Their friendship becomes stronger than any prison wall. They prove that time and cruelty cannot destroy the human spirit if hope is alive. Andy often says that hope is a good thing and maybe the best thing. He says that a good thing never dies. Red finally understands this fully. He feels free not just in his body but also in his heart and mind. Their days pass peacefully by the sea. The sound of waves replaces the sound of prison doors. The open sky replaces stone walls. The future, once dark and frightening, now feels wide and bright. This is the story of a man who was innocent but imprisoned, a man who suffered quietly, and a friendship that saved 2 lives. It is a story about patience, intelligence, kindness, and hope. It shows that even in the darkest place, light can survive if someone protects it.